week 44. I'm filling up this year since I turned 49. Connect with people every week that I know, don't know. This is another one of those ones where I know this person. I met them at the Chamber of Commerce. I was president of the Chamber of Commerce on and off for years. And they were on the committee at the time, and they got to meet Fat Adam. And for those that don't know, I was pretty big, really big. And he was one of those first guys I ran into after I'd lost a lot of weight, and he didn't recognize me. And then he was like, "Did you have a surgery?" And I was like, "No, just running a lot, heaps." Anyhow, he's one of those guys that I don't know boring accountants. And I know a lot of people call accountants boring, but he's another example of not a boring accountant in any fashion. He's got some pretty cool, dangerous hobbies too. So let's go find out about a non-boring accountant. This is Dan. We met like a long time ago. I'm guessing probably first through the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, I think so in about 2008 odd.
Yeah, okay.
Sure. Yep.
And you were an accountant then?
Yep.
You're an accountant now. A lot's changed though, because you're different firm,
Yes.
but you weren't always an accountant.
No.
So let's go back to, where did you go to high school?
Tullawong.
Right.
Yeah, local Morayfield
I
State.
knew you were
and
local. I didn't know you were that local.
Morayfield State School, Tullawong High School. Yeah.
What did you do after that?
Well, during high school, I was actually washing cars, doing car detailing for an electrician business. Then, yeah, I pretty much went to uni. I was plastering. Dad's a plasterer, so we were doing the basic work. I was doing back blocking and sanding and helping sheeting, just sort of the grunt work. So doing that through uni. Then, yeah, halfway through uni, I started with a firm. When I was about 19. Made less money the first couple of years accounting than I did plastering part-time. But yeah.
And were you just like manual labor plasterer, or did you do any trade?
No trade. So basically I didn't do any of the setting or cornice work or anything. It was just probably the most technical part was the sanding. So that's probably the only skill set I had there. The rest was just, sheeting, helping move things around, clean up sort of. But sanding was my biggest job. So I'd go around basically after they finish setting the job, you go through, you sand it, make sure everything's ready for the painter.
Yep.
And yeah, it was good work. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Good work for Dad. Yeah.
And which firm did you end up at?
So I saw an ad in the Sunny Coast University. They had like a placement in there, and I went for a job at Mobs and Company at Caloundra. They had Jamie Mobs. He had 3 staff at the time, I think. And then, started with him part-time as the only other bloke in the office. So I had 2 older, well, they weren't old, but they were older than me, older ladies to learn from. And yeah, pretty much them and Jamie got me started. So it was a good team to learn with.
Yeah, awesome. And that must have worked out well, because I think by the time we met, you were a partner of the firm.
Yeah. So when I was 22, I hit Jamie up for more money. I was a pretty good worker there and picking it up pretty fast. And I was actually doing kickboxing at the PCYC, and the mate of mine worked at KPMG, and KPMG, one of the big 4.
Yep.
So I said to Mobsy, I want more money or I'm going to KPMG because it's a namesake, or I want to become a partner. So he said, if you want to become a partner, that's fine. I bought in 10% and we bought an office at Caboolture for me to start running.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, so
how long did you do that for?
About 10 years. So we started in 08 there, and then I sold out in 2018.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I think when we started, we had 3 or 4 staff. And when we finished, we probably had, 6 or 7 sort of thing. And we kind of doubled our turnover at that stage. So it was our biggest office. We ended up with an office up the coast, the Caboolture one, and one in West End, 3 partners. We had 20 odd staff in the financial planning firm that we'd set up too. So Caboolture was the biggest office that I'd grown that into. So yeah, good area for it, but good team. Yeah.
Yep.
Good fun. But then, after 10 years, it sort of had a bit too much going on.
Yep. Yeah. And what did you do after that? You had a little break, did you?
I did, yeah. So 3-year Australian trade, which is fine. Didn't think I was ever going back at that stage because I'd sort of done my time. But we've got a farm up at Gayndah with the family there.
All right, where's Gayndah?
Gayndah. So I think it's pretty much inland from Bundy. I think it's about 100 k's as a crow flies or something like that. But
from Bundy or from here?
From Bundy.
From Bundy.
Yeah. So from here, it's about 3 hours, 15 minutes. So
yeah, okay.
You can sort of go up through Gympie and out west and Goomeri sort of way up from there. But Gayndah is Queensland's oldest town. So
right.
Gayndah was one of 3 picked to be our capital.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we went with Brisbane because there's a Burnett River at Gayndah, but they would have had to dredge way too far inland to make that work. So it's a nice little town, oldest pub in Queensland's there.
Wow.
Good place to have a drink, a lot of good old farmers there. So yeah, we got about 1,200 acres up there. We're running cattle on as a business, and I decided to harvest grass trees. So Yeah, harvested those for a couple of years and wholesaled mainly down to Victoria.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so that was that was a good bit of outdoor work, a lot of harder labour. You got to manually pull the trees by hand and then get them growing back here and sort of do all the work there. And also did self-managed super fund audits as well. So the old business partners had no problem with me doing that. So I did audit work as a registered auditor at the time for other accountants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Then, yeah, 3 years after the restraint finished, day after I started a new business, which I didn't expect to do. So,
Yeah, right.
yeah, thought
And
I'd
we're
have another
sitting
go.
here now. It's called Next Level Taxation,
That's the one. Yep.
and it's not just you anymore.
No, I've got another lady. She's admin bookkeeper, sort of office administrator. So she's here 2 to 3 days a week.
Mm.
Marissa, she's our first team member. So, and making a move next month into a premise and looking for an accountant at the moment, actually. So looking for someone with 1 or 2 years experience. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
And are they hard to find at the moment?
Yeah, no one wants to do accounting.
Right.
Yeah, they reckon the rates have dropped off
Okay.
with the government intervention, and there's changes coming in July where accountants have to dob clients in and dob each other in for things. There's all these new regulations. I think it's putting people off.
Right.
The work's there.
Yep.
One thing I never have a problem with is bringing clients in. I sort of try and talk to clients as they'd like to be spoken to and get back to them on time and things other accountants aren't good at. So bringing the work in's fine. It's just finding somebody if we decide to grow.
Yeah.
If I can't find somebody, well, I might go back to how I was trained. You know, traditionally, we'd always worked on the premise that you'd go to the university, put an ad in, you'd train someone up while they're in uni, then you'd step them on full time.
Yep.
I was hoping to find someone half trained, but I don't think it's a possibility unless I'm willing to bring someone in from South Sudan or Sri Lanka, which seems to be where all the resumes are coming from at the moment.
Yeah,
So
right.
that just won't work for someone in-house.
And I notice a lot of accounting firms also go down that offshore, accountant path
Yes.
as well. Have you considered that?
Yeah, I've had 15 phone calls in the last week from offshore people. The last bloke had a good laugh, actually, because I told him he was the 15th caller, and he kind of figured that's where we needed to end the conversation. But I'm always polite to them, but I sort of say, listen, I need someone in-house. I want someone who can be there all the time. You know, I've got a shoulder reconstruction coming up soon, so I need someone in there to actually do
Yep.
stuff for me. And that's how I prefer to do it. We have tried offshore before in the last firm, and they're very good. It can work good. I've got friends who run larger firms who solely use offshore.
Yep.
However, when I was trialing it myself, I found they didn't pick up on things that we in this country would understand as normal parts of business. There was just, the cultural difference on things that
Yep.
it just took a little bit longer. And by the time you went back and forth, it was just as easy to pay someone a bit more to be in-house. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it works with some businesses depending on their clientele base, but yeah, it's not something I envisage ever having. Yeah.
Yep. So what are you going to do with the setup here for the business?
Yeah. So yeah, we're sitting in a standalone converted shed. Once again, the beauty of having a dad and a brother who are plasterers.
Yep.
And dad
Very
did all the
nicely
work.
done though, including the whiteboard behind us. That's a
Yes.
wall turned into a whiteboard. I love it.
Yeah, that's my fancy part. Yeah. Yeah, so my shed with the office facade on the front, this will be a guest bedroom and things.
Gotcha.
I've got a baby coming in June, so my third child. So it'll be sort of guests can sleep in the boardroom here and the kids can watch telly and play their Mortal Kombat
Yep.
arcade game that I bought myself as a wedding present and things. Actually, my wife bought that for me as a wedding present, so that was the coolest part of the wedding. Yeah.
So you're not going to convert it into a toy shed because you've got toys.
Yes, yeah. So the toy shed's behind us there, so it's full at the
Yep.
moment. So I don't have any room for any more. Yeah.
Run us through your toys. What do you got?
The wife's got a couple cars, so she's got a '64 Mini and it's a 70 something Datsun, but it's a Datto 1200.
Yep.
I got the '69 Mustang convertible in there, and my car, my favorite one, is my '75 Chrysler by Chrysler. So it's a 408 stroke small block, was supercharged on meth, but we put it back to street setup. So.
Right.
And a couple of motorbikes. The wife's got an old BSA Bantam in there and the dirt bikes and stuff. So with that and all they're not really toys at the farm, but the dozer and things up at the farm, they're still fun.
Yeah.
There's plenty.
And the Chrysler, did you used to throw that down the quarter?
More for power crews.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yep.
I'm the oldest of three, so my brothers are into cars too. The youngest one's into, he's doing a Mustang up and he's got an ex-Cop Charger from
Yep.
Surrey Hills, ex-Aussie Charger, and the old man's got his twin turbo Charger as well.
Right.
It was in Street Machine last year. He set up for Drag Week.
Right. Okay.
And then the middle brother's actually going to Power Cruise. I think it's is it this week or next week? Power Cruise Sydney's on. So he's got a supercharged Centura that he's
Yep.
taken down there. So we used to do Power Cruise. So basically just racing people on track, having a bit of fun. You can do some burnout events and
Yep.
off-street racing and stuff, which is cool. But
Yeah, awesome.
yeah, most of it's just for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the downside with a big supercharger, it looks cool. It's good to sit in your shed and have a beer and stare at, but you can't drive it on the street. Yeah.
When I knew you in the Chamber of Commerce days, were you into another type of motorsport?
Yeah, Speedway.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so we're running.
And they're the things that look weird with the off-centered sides. What's
Yep.
that about?
Yeah, so it's all for the downforce because
Right.
it's left. It's like NASCAR, so you're going left all the time on dirt track.
Yep.
We're running Formula 500, so sprint cars are the big boys. They've got the 410 V8s in them, so they're
Right.
pushing 900 horsepower. They got a better power to weight ratio than a Formula 1 car.
Yeah.
We were the next class down, so we were second or third quickest out of the categories, but we ran an R6 motorbike engine on methanol. Same everything, same setup, same rear ends, but except we were chain driven. We weren't running a diff, but yeah, everything was sort of set up and you had to change for each track. So I had a crew chief at the time who would help me set up. He was Bruce, he was a gun. So yeah, we've raced from Cairns to Mount Gambier when we're doing that.
Wow.
Dad and I were both running cars together at one stage, which is cool because we put them in the truck and went to different tracks. And I built a sprint car after that.
Yep.
But then I sold out of mobs, and I realised once I sold out of mobs that sprint cars aren't cheap.
Yep. I was about to say an expensive and dangerous sport.
Yes, yeah, the danger's the fun part. Yeah,
Right,
the
okay.
expense is the downside.
Okay.
Yeah, but
And is that why you do something like that? It's just all for the adrenaline.
I think in outlet, I think in business, and I say this to a lot of clients and other friends in business, and I'm assuming you're the same. Most of my friends are business owners because we have a lot in common, but you need an outlet. If you're stuck doing something day in, day out, the drudgery of it, you need that outlet. A family's fantastic. You can do things with your family, but I think you need something for you as well.
Yep.
When I lost doing something for me, it kind of set me off a little bit because I didn't have anything I could not look forward to. I love my family, but just to have that outlet to throw it away. So, I'd love to do it again. But
Yep.
at the moment, I've got a baby coming, of course, and the two boys that I got half the time from the prior relationship. So business, running the farm, there's enough to do for now, but I'd definitely love to do that stuff again.
Yep.
But yeah, at least, my Valiant will be running next month so we can go and do family cruises and still have a little bit of that, a bit of an outlet, but yeah, not the extent I'd love. I'd love to get back into a sprint car or a jet sprint boat. I'd
Yeah,
love to get
right.
into those. Yeah, those little,
Yep.
they go through the
Where
little tracks.
they create the water course track.
Yeah, and you
if you
basically
make
gotta-
the wrong turn, you end
Yeah.
up on the dirt.
You upside down.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
Not dangerous at all.
no, my dad said he wouldn't navigate for
Right.
me in that because he has no ambition of sitting upside down drowning. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's more of the excitement, but yeah. Yep. So you need to get your kicks, no matter what it is, no matter what your hobby is. I think if you're going hard in a business, you need to have an outlet somehow.
How often do you get up to the farm?
Every couple of weeks at least.
Yeah, okay.
So dad's sort of
Does anyone live up there?
No,
Okay.
no. But dad's semi-retired now, so he's up there a bit more.
Yep.
There's a lot to do. Like we're up there over the weekend selling cattle. We took them out to Ipswich. Yeah, you got to tend to them all the time. We got new births coming through. We got 10 to 12k of fences to maintain.
Yeah, wow.
Um,
10 to 12k of fences.
Yeah, on 1,200 acres, that's sort of our surrounding
Yep.
diameter. So we've just sort of fixed all those, which is good.
Yep.
And yeah, but a storm comes through, you got to go through and check them. And yeah, you're always worried about your beasts and stuff. You're maintaining equipment, weed control, trees,
Yep.
where you push new tracks. There's plenty to do.
Yeah, wow.
Because it's good work. Farming's a tough one to make money in. On our scale, we are running it as a business and we are running it to profit. But to get, a decent profit, you really would have to have a lot of money involved, an awful lot. Yeah.
Yep. And have you got a setup there for you to stay at? And
Yeah, there's an old wing of the Maryborough nursing home up there.
Right.
That's the house. So
they've got
that's handy.
moved there? Or
Got
Yep.
moved there. Yeah,
Okay.
they took it up on a truck. It's 130 meters up on a hill, so I had to come through the neighbour's property to get it up.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, there's a couple of sheds down there and a dame shelter for our hay and whatnot. But yeah, no, it's lovely up there. The people are nice. It's just a throwback in time.
And how do you get around the property? Is it motorbikes or is it little buggies or?
Yeah, we got a couple of farm cars, so like a service vehicle, and then the old trusty late 70s Hilux ute.
Yep.
That's our sort of fence running vehicle where you sort of run your barb off the back. But I use a Kawasaki Stockman. I got a proper farmer's bike now, so
Yeah.
that's sort of handy. You can
And so
quad.
how
Yeah.
long does it take you to get around and check out 1,200 acres if there's, been a big storm or something?
Yeah, so we're only running around the outside, so it's not too bad on the outer edge. It might take you, an hour and a half to sort of putt
Yeah,
around
wow.
there. But if the fences are down, there's a bit more work to do. But we've over time learned a few tricks and things on fence repairs, and there's certain little tools and gadgets out now that make it easier and save you a lot of time. So it's not too bad. But
Yep.
yeah, the last thing you want is your cattle out, especially when you're not there all the time. They're tagged. I mean, theft still does happen, but you know, they're tagged, they're branded. You'd hope not, but
Yep.
you never know. So you don't want cattle out on the road. We sort of border two roads where we are. So yeah, you just don't want that while we're not there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. And fast forward 5 years, what do you got on the horizon for yourself?
5 years, yeah. Well, at the moment, it's office fit out next month
Yep.
because I'll be doing most of that myself, which will be good. That'll be helping me. But office fit out, shoulder reconstruction coming up, baby due in June. Yeah, a bit of investment stuff going on. So fair bit on the cards. This year's a
Yep.
whitewash. Yeah, I'm pretty much done with 25 already.
Yeah, right.
I've
Got it
knocked it
all.
all out.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's all kegged out.
Yeah, growth wise with the business, you know, we'll probably, if we can get another accountant, we'll grow a little bit. I don't want to be huge again. I don't want to get to the stage I was at last time. You sort of lose touch with the clients, and
Yep.
it's not what I want to do again. I don't want people to become numbers. I want to. The only joy I get out of accounting nowadays, after doing it for 20 odd years, is helping people. And it might be those little things where someone's stressed about something, and if you can take that stress off their shoulders or explain something that accounts bad for communication. Like I said, I don't consider myself a normal accountant. You know, drink wine. I don't play golf or chess or anything like that. I like to be different. I like to relate, and that's probably why I get along with so many clients. But if I can explain things to them, I think that's a really great thing. Then they've understood something that they've never quite understood, and it might
Yep.
only take me 10 minutes to do, but I get satisfaction out of that. So yeah, growing, but on a small scale. Aside from that, yeah, maybe in 5 years, once the next baby comes a little girl, so once the daughter's a bit older, maybe then I can look to do some racing or something again. So
Yep.
but yeah, we've definitely, my wife Erin and I have definitely leveraged ourselves up this year. So we've got a lot on. Yeah, yes,
And finally, if there was a favorite place for you to hop in your Chrysler and go for a cruise, where is it?
to the farm.
To
Yep.
the farm.
Yep.
There we go.
The farm is this is where I live.
Yep.
The farm is where I feel at home.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that's a feeling you don't often get, but
Yep.
yes, that's my favourite place. Aside from that, if I was driving around here locally, to answer that, I'd probably just go down Old North Road around the back there and up through Marina. That's
Yep.
always a nice little cruise for us locals, but yeah.
You like the country and hilly outlook.
Yep, it's nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know how it is in an old car, nothing better than a
Yeah.
V8 running up and down the hills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for chatting to me
No,
today.
thanks, Adam. Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Yep. I took the Val to Perth. So
Yeah.
I bought that motor out of Summit, Summit Racing in the States. It was a blueprint engine, brought it over here, dumped it in, and was doing 340 at the rears, put all the spares in, shot straight down, went through Kenya, and down through there.
Yep.
And then to South Australia. And then, yeah, shot across Nullarbor and back. Didn't miss a beat.
Right.
Had two jerry cans in the back though. Yeah.
Yep.
I come out of a little tow par as I was going along there, and I was almost running out of fuel, and I swear the guy at the service station was rubbing his hands together when he could see me, when he could hear me coming, because the fuel was expensive.
Yeah.
Back then it was $2 something a litre. You
Yeah,
couldn't get
yeah.
98, you could only get 95. So
Yep.
it was pinging as well because it wasn't the fuel.
Wasn't happy.
Yeah, it
Yep.
didn't have the right fuel in it. But yeah, no, going up the farm, the only downside is the big hill. So when you get to the farm, we got a set of old yards out the front.
Yep.
Basically, got to park your car in there, get one of the farm cars, and take you up to the house because it's 4-wheel drive country.
Right. Okay.
It's about a K driveway
Yep.
up to it. Yeah.